Hey there, and thank you for joining me on the Retro Game Couch. Today's video will be about getting the best video quality from your PAL N64. And I say PAL in particular because the PAL version only outputs composite video by default, and the NTSC version also outputs an S-video signal and can even be easily modified to output RGB. So in this video I'm going to show you how to get the best video quality from your PAL N64 without doing any mods. So let's go! Before we begin, let's establish which video outputs we can get from consoles. Starting on the left with the worst quality is Composite, which transmits the entire video as one composite signal. Next up is S-Video, which separately sends the color signal and brightness signal, which gives a much more clear image. Then next up is Component Video, which sends two color signals and a brightness signal, and this can output analog HD signals. And lastly there is HDMI that sends digital HD video and multi-channel audio and can do up to 1080p HD signals. Let's hook up my N64, which was generously donated to the Retro Game Couch by Clemens, the guy you all know from the challenge videos on this channel. I linked his YouTube channel in the description below. Go check him out, it's an awesome channel. As you can see, my video cable not only has the red and white audio jacks and the yellow composite video jack, but also an S-Video connector. With this cable you can actually get an S-Video signal from your PAL N64. A few models like the special editions don't seem to work, don't seem to output S-Video, but for the majority of the PAL N64s this cable will work. The first test game is Perfect Dark, and here's the composite version of the intro. The text looks really blurry. And here's the exact same intro, same game, same console, but using S-Video, and it's so much more readable. Here are two screenshots of the intro side by side, and you be the judge. This is the main menu of the game in composite mode, without the expansion pack inserted, more on that in a bit. And here we switch over to S-Video, much more crisp, much more readable. Let's start a challenge, first in composite, and again washed out colors, blurry textures. And here is the same sequence in S-Video. Look at the wall and floor textures, there's so much more detail. And here are both sequences side by side for better comparison. Now, Perfect Dark is one of a handful of games that will not work or only partially work if no expansion pack is inserted. In this game, inserting the expansion pack will unlock single and multiplayer modes. The expansion pack doubles the N64's memory to a whopping 8 megabytes. And besides the handful of games that will only work with the pack inserted, there is a pretty big list of games that actually run smoother or have better graphics with this pack inserted. This is the first mission of Perfect Dark in high-res mode with the expansion pack inserted, but using composite video. And again, same sequence, but this time using the S-Video cable. It's honestly harder to navigate the game in composite mode, and S-Video just makes it look like a different game. Next up is Wipeout 64, awesome game. Let's start out with composite mode, which in this game looks pretty good. A bit blurry around the edges, but not too bad color-wise. Switching over to S-Video, and you can immediately see that it looks much more crisp, much more sharp around the edges. Again, a great improvement. And for a better comparison, here are the two video outputs side by side. Last game I want to show you is Body Harvest, a great game by DMA Design that later went on to form Rockstar North. So this is basically GTA in space. And in this game the difference is a lot less obvious. I'm not sure that it has to do with the low texture quality or something like that, but here S-Video looks almost the same as Composite Video. Granted, it looks a lot sharper, but it's just less obvious here. So, in conclusion, the best video quality you can get from your unmodded PAL N64 is by using the expansion pack, which most of you already probably have, and by using this cable, which adds S-Video output to a PAL N64. The cable is only 10 euros or $11. I'll put a link in the description below. You'll thank me later. Get one, it's the best thing you can get for your unmodded N64. So for now, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time on the Retro Game Couch.